We know very well that there are times when men underestimate the power women have, especially in the ring. However, we can also agree that there have been more times when women have overstepped. In times like these men are forced to react and put them back in their place. In this video, we bring you some very interesting moments when guys fought back, and you sure don't want to miss out. So be sure to stick around till the end of the video so you don't miss any moment. Are you ready? Let's jump right in. Mixed gender boxing tie fight. The lady in the blue trunk decided that her superpower was in using her legs. Unfortunately, they weren't enough to keep her opponent away. Her defense is also poor. This guy takes every chance to attack with strikes. And he doesn't seem to care, as his jabs and strikes only get stronger and carry more power to the final bell. He is giving her no room to breathe. I mean, look at how she's pressed up against the ropes. Thank God for the referee. He even had to ensure she wasn't concussed from all the hits. Yeah, it was that bad. The brutal finisher. Right from the start of this fight, the guy was determined to prove a point, and he did just that. He was serving powerful strikes to the back of her head, and in less than a minute, he had tired her out. All of her counters were futile, so she remained on the receiving end of the battering till the referee was forced to call it off. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boy versus girl. Immediately, he reached for her legs, and it was clear that it wasn't going to be a pretty ending. She even tried to hold him down with a headlock, but that wasn't effective. In the space of seconds, the young man was back to dominating the match and gave her no room for escape. Every time it seemed like she had found her way, he always looked for the best way to counter it, keeping her locked in on the ground. And once he got her arm into that lock, it was all over. Tattooed man versus determined lady. The lady in this clip is doing all that she can to dominate the fight, but with her opponent on top of her, the chances are very low. He gets her into a headlock and counters all of her attempts to lock him in. Oh my God! He was almost there with her legs, but somehow she found her way out. But once again, using his size to his advantage, he gets a hold of that leg again and keeps it locked in till she's out of breath to even try. Lucia Riker versus man. Lucia, the lady in the red shorts, sure seemed rather confident at the start of the match. Her legs were delivering mighty kicks every which way. But just like fighting, that first resetting jab came in from her opponent, and just a few seconds later, she was swept off her feet with a kick from her opponent. Indeed, Lucia is a skilled fighter, but I guess she got someone way past her league this time around. Both fighters go at each other for another couple seconds, and Lucia finds herself on the ground more times than usual. She did start to dominate at some point, but her opponent quickly took over with his strikes going straight to her face. Andrew Capurro versus Nong Rose. They start off with low kicks, and soon Capurro has Rose just where he wants her. With a few jabs here and there, Rose loses her balance and falls straight to the canvas. Capurro sure isn't stopping for a breath. By the second round, Capurro is battering, and all we know is that she just may drop at any second now. And she's down. Can she continue? My advice will be that she calls it off. Well, thankfully, the referee also saw what we all saw and called it off. Shane Mistretta versus Gita Figueroa. Shane already has Gita in a headlock, and that sure doesn't look like it's going to end well for her. Oh wow, she is able to free herself, but that isn't going to stop Shane from landing more blows. She's worn out completely, but somehow still manages to land a blow before hitting the canvas. Shane definitely did a number on her with that right hook. MMA, boy versus girl. The fight has barely started and this young man has already tackled her to the ground. And all she does is fight for an escape. Both fighters are back to the ground as he struggles to pin her shoulders down to the ground. Now this is very interesting. Look at her face. She is clearly already tired out from fighting for her freedom. She is unable to trap him down, and so he goes straight for the head. After a few twists and turns, he gets a hold of her arm and then her head. He keeps her locked in until finally she manages to squeeze herself out. They are into the second round and oh, that kick to the belly had to hurt. Wrestling match, boy versus girl. Rumor says that this is the closest to a girl this guy has ever been. Now, you can't take our word for it, but we can agree that he may just be able to prove himself right here. The guy in red is dominating the fight as he attempts to get the perfect grip on her leg. Did he just land a suplex? Now the girl, on the other hand, is doing everything she can to overpower him, but I guess her best isn't good enough. He somehow manages to get both her arms locked behind her, and you can tell from her face that it hurt like hell. Surprisingly, she gets a chance to free herself and dominate for a quick minute, but that doesn't last too long. Once again, he is back to the top and showing her a hard time. Another suplex, and he keeps her locked in till the whistle goes off. Amazing! The jerk of the month. Now this will rile some feathers, but this guy just wants to have a good time. And it seems that was their plan too. The guy called in a bunch of women to go one-on-one with him for the price of a free concert ticket. He didn't fail to add that he was going to whoop their butts. He would have been the jerk, but guess what? These women actually showed. Now this says more about them than the guy, don't you think? Well, as he promised, the young man in the weird skeleton suit went from one woman to another, delivering on his promise. He didn't fail to use all the techniques he could think of, whether legal or not. And what's worse? He doesn't stop. Not even if you are tired and on the brink of passing out. He made sure to hit until they actually blacked out. I mean, take a look at that woman lying lifeless on the stretcher. Some price to pay for free tickets, I guess. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. If you had a great time, be sure to smash that like button and let us know which of these was your favorite. Also, remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more videos like this one. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.